know this is Punch, Drunk, Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Ramon. Shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Y'all already know, man, boxing 24/7. Boxing is alive and well. Boxing is alive and well. Some other people may be saying, nah, boxing is not alive. Boxing is in life support. Boxing is dying. Boxing is not what it used to be. But there is personnel in the sport of boxing that have sustained, has captivated the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fans. Y'all already know we had a press conference today. Shout out to PBC. Shout out to Amazon Prime. Shout out to TGP. Shout out to David Benavidez, La Bandera Roja, the Mexican Monster versus David Morrell is going to be happening February 1st, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. And I hope that you boxing fans that were so critical of this past weekend, November 15th, Friday, Dallas, Texas, Netflix, we had the great Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man of the planet at the age of 58, competing versus Jake Paul, the Phenom, the Trailblazer. Shout out to Most Valuable Promotions, Jake Paul. And of course, we had the Queens in the ring. We had the one that I regard as the greatest woman that ever laced them up, the 7th Division World Champion, undisputed in the featherweight division. You already know Amanda Serrano, the real deal. Amanda Serrano, which I believe got robbed on Friday. But we already spoke about that. And hopefully, and I'm hearing that they already go into negotiations for the trilogy, and that's a beautiful thing. They could have their own show. They could be the co-main, or the double main, or whatever you want to call it, because I believe that they can't be co-main to nobody. Hopefully they get that fight done. Hopefully that Amanda Serrano, shout out to Amanda Serrano, she heals well. She had a real bad cut. Shout out to Mike Bassel, the greatest cut man in the sport of boxing today. Shout out to everybody that's looking on right now. Y'all already know we're now tuning in YouTube, Spotify, all your social media apps. Y'all already know, man. Podcast app. Whew. We got David Morrell versus David Benavidez. 175 pounds, Phenom, young, hungry lions going at one another. They say it's the best fighting the best. They say these guys been ducked. They say these guys are the boogeyman. That's what they say. That's what they say. That's what they say. That's what they say. The boxing fans says that this is a real one. The boxing fans that says this is the fight that boxing needs, that boxing deserves, that people could take serious, because they did say that the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul event was a clown show. They did say that it's bad for boxing. They say that this is nonsense. It shouldn't happen. People shouldn't pay attention to it. People shouldn't watch it. Why is Mike Tyson stepping back in the ring? This is not fair. He's too old. This is whack. The card is whack. Should have never happened. Yeah, it did set records, ladies and gentlemen. 18+ million in the gate. 70 plus in attendance, 70,000 people in attendance. Dallas, Texas was wild, was epic, was roaring, was cheering. Woo, man, one of the best experiences I ever had in my damn life. One of the best experiences I ever had in my life. Shout out to Jordan Maldonado. Shout out to Amanda Serrano. Shout out to Cindy Serrano. Shout out to the Boricuas. Latinos Unidos over there, my friends. Shout out to Nikisi. Shout out to Jake Paul. Shout out to Most Valuable Promotions. Shout out to Netflix. It was a beautiful week. It was a beautiful week. It was a beautiful week, ladies and gentlemen. It was a beautiful week. It was a beautiful week. But what was ticking me off is that people really wants to say that this event was not great for boxing. Again, 70,000 plus in attendance, 65 million stream, Netflix, 71. I think they counted 74 million stream. The most streamed sporting event in the history of all streams. But there's people still out there that want to question what was the importance of the event. If it was good for boxing, I believe it was wonderful for boxing. I believe it was great for boxing. I believe that this is what boxing actually needed. It uplifted the sport of boxing. It gave boxing a facelift. It gave boxing promise. We understand that everybody is always going to be geared to a good fight. Everybody is going to be geared to a good event. Boxing reigns supreme. Boxing, if you put up the great show, the great event, boxing reigns supreme. Is the reason why boxing, the sport of boxing, been the number one sport for almost a whole century. And I know there's a lot of people, there's a lot of blames to go around on why boxing sometimes it feels like it's not what it used to be. I know, and especially in America, it has become a niche sport, and there's a lot of blames to go around. You feel me? The managers, the promoters, the fighters themselves, and stuff like that. There's a lot of blame to go around. But when you put up a great event and everybody's invested in it, nobody beats boxing. I put up a great event in the sport of boxing against any sport event outside of Super Bowl. You already know Super Bowl it is what it is. Super Bowl is Super Bowl, especially in this side of the pond. Savage in the building. What's good, my brother? Shout out to the members of the channel. Say, yo, Punch, I think both are great for boxing. Remember, Tyson versus Jake was free and undercard had good fights. Exactly. But we're going to get right to it. Sucker in the building. What's good? Edwin in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all not tuning into Punch Wrong Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Low Nose Boxing in the building that said, I was a great fight, but pay-per-view used to be combination of big names fighters versus real threats. These are both threats, but not big names. It don't do that many numbers pay-per-view. No. I don't want to hear it, Lo. I don't want to hear nobody tell me that, oh my God, they're not willing to pay for the pay-per-view, because what everybody is saying right now in the boxing world is that David Benavidez and David Morrell is the real fight. And there's people out there that is unhappy with the Jake Paul and Tyson, and they're calling it a fake fight. They're calling it a rig fight. They don't want to give credit for nothing. They don't feel like they did anything to the sport of boxing. They don't think that this sustained and captivated the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fan, which it did. It was a great fight versus Barrios and Ramos. It was a great fight with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, probably fight of the year. We're talking about treasures in the sport of boxing. We're talking about legend versus legends, pound for pound versus pound for pound, great versus great, most decorated fighter versus most decorated fighter in the history of women boxing. I don't want to hear nobody now tell me that David Morrell and David Benavidez is not going to do close to those numbers, because you have a responsibility, the boxing fans. You have a responsibility now to show me and prove to me that what you say is that David Morrell and David Benavidez is what boxing needs. And if this is what boxing needs, and I just saw an event that did 60 to this 74 million stream, that I seen an event that has 70,000+ people. I want T-Mobile Arena to be packed. I want it to be outside packed. I want people killing each other, going through the roofs of T-Mobile Arena, because we're watching David Morrell versus David Benavidez. I want the boxing world to prove to me that you love the real. I want you climbing on top of the T-Mobile Arena. I want you punching ushers to get in. I want you to bum rush it. I want T-Mobile Arena to look like Best Buy on Black Friday. Rush them. I want the fans, the boxing fans, to climb over David Benavidez and David Morrell like if it was Michael Jackson on concert when all the bitches was fainting. Oh my God, Michael! That's what I want the boxing fans to be. That's what I want the boxing fans to be. That's what do I expect. February 1st, I expect everybody rushing. As soon as the door open, everybody rushing. Everybody climbing on top of the ticket booth. Everybody, I want the streams to go down. I want people to spend their money pay-per-view. What, man? What? It's only $80. I'm giving $180. Now, y'all told me that Tyson versus Paul is not good for the sport of boxing. So prove to me that you support what's good for boxing. Prove to me that you want to see the best fighting the best. Prove to me that you want to uplift the sport of boxing. And the way to uplift the sport of boxing is to see the great fighters versus great. Y'all believe that David Benavidez is one of the greats? Y'all believe that David Benavidez is the guy that is scaring off Canelo Alvarez, right? The 4th division world champion, super middleweight undisputed, a rey de boxeo. That's the guy. That's the guy that's scary. The most accomplished fighter of this generation, Canelo Alvarez. David Benavidez is the monster. I want to see a monster. The monster versus a monster. Boogeyman versus a boogeyman. David Benavidez and David Morrell. A spectacular event with Stephen Fulton in the rematch with Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. And shout out to Mrs. Figueroa. I know she's married to Mario Barrios. Shout out to Mario Barrios, damn it. But congratulations on the kiddos. Look at this, folks. We got 26 people looking on. They don't care about David Benavidez and David Morrell today. Woo, when we talk about something else, whoa, man. Hey, yo, Punch Run Boxing, we got the numbers flying. But right now, we got 26 people looking on because we're talking about David Benavidez and David Morrell. But I want to see the support. When I say David Benavidez and David Morrell, I want the whole world of boxing. Oh, my goodness gracious. I can't wait. We got Pitbull Cruz. We got Pitbull Cruz back in the ring, y'all. We got Pitbull Cruz back in the ring, y'all. Ooh, in the action. Hey, yo, even Floyd Mayweather's talking about this fight. Y'all know that Floyd Mayweather don't be talking about no fights. He don't be pumping no fights. He's on Instagram right now pumping this fight. Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, one of the greatest that ever laced them up. The richest boxer that ever lived. I want everybody invested in this because you told me that the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was a BS fight, that was bad for boxing, that was garbage for boxing, that it was a clown show. You telling me that 70 plus people going to Dallas, Texas, AT&T Arena, Dallas Cowboy Arena, you telling me that 70K were clowns to buy into a clown show? You telling me that 74 million people streaming, you calling them clowns? Then show me. I want 75 million stream. I want 75 million pay-per-view buys when it comes to David Benavidez and David Morrell. You show me that this is what's great for boxing. It's time for the boxing world to show and prove and stop being cheap, stop stealing fights. I want you to go out there and get your tickets right now, get your plane tickets, secure your hotel, baby, save your money, and come. Yo, I'm going to tell you like this, and everybody got money in February. Everybody got money in February. Most of the people, because it's income tax. I know y'all gonna do your income tax as soon as January, the first week of January. So you're gonna get your money by February. You're gonna get your money by February 1st. You're gonna get your money. Tell H&R Block that you know what I'm saying? Tell H&R Block to cut you that check real quick. You're gonna get some bonuses in December in your respective job. You're gonna get some bonuses, right? I don't want to hear nobody saying they broke on February 1st. It's a shame if you broke on February 1st. They giving money like hotcakes. Not even illegal immigrants. It's going to be broke down around that time. Whoo! Adam Hurley said, Benavidez versus Morrell is a huge fight. Bigger than people know right now. No. It's a huge fight, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of the best fights that boxing could offer. Because now I'm reading and now I'm seeing, now this is great for boxing. Now this is a real fight, right? That's what they're saying, folks, right? This is great for boxing. Now this is a real fight. This was fake. This is real. I even like the promo. I even like how David Morrell was talking. I've been waiting for a Caribbean Latino to talk like that. Yeah, because to be honest, there's too much humbleness with the Caribbean Latinos sometimes. I even tell my Dominican fighters, like, yo, my man, you're not relating to the way that we talk. I like the way that David Morrell and David Benavidez was promoting this fight very, very well too. David Morrell, okay, well, what happened? I don't give a fuck. Okay, what happened? Are you scary? I'm not scary. Okay, you talking bullshit to me. Okay, you have problem with me. I have problem with you. Let's go right now. We fight right now. I like that. That's what we needed. That's what he needed. David Benavidez say, man, I don't even understand. Si tú me entiendes a mí, cabrón, tú me entiendes a mí, ¿oíste? Pues tú eres un mexicano. Usted no entiende el español ahora. Mira, dame que, hey, dile a tu papá que él me entienda a mí. What happened? You scary? I'm not scared of you. Are you crazy? You scared? You're going to punch my mouth? You're not going to punch my mouth. You have no power, my friend. You have no power. Right here, no power. I like that. I like that. That's what I needed, man. Shout out to David Morrell. I'm tired of this little humble talk when it comes to the Caribbean Latino fighters and stuff like that. Nah. We need to spark it up. David Benavidez say he gonna punch him in the mouth. He gonna break his jaw. David Morrell said, "You're not gonna do nothing. You think I am? You think I'm an idiot or something like that? You think I'm the weak and leaky? Like you be fighting? I in Cuba, my friend. I in Cuba. You never swim to Cuba like that. Oíste? And David Benavidez, you're Dominican too. You don't have no respect for your Dominican, huh? You're Dominican, Ecuadorian, and Mexican. Por la matura de Mexican monster. Porque tú le dejas a la gente, you know what I'm saying? You don't represent like that. I like that. Yeah. Jake Paul just pulled off one of the greatest. He said, look at Charles. Look at this eye. Look at this eye. Look at that. In the chat, some guy, Charles just said, Jake Paul just pulled one of the greatest cons in boxing history. Wow. So you're telling me that Jake Paul. So you're telling me that you don't like Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor? You're telling me that was a con show? Because let me tell you like this. Those ladies got paid more than any other lady in the history of the sport of boxing. And they deserve every dime, even more. 50 million streamed worldwide. And watch the greatest woman fight ever. But that was a con show for Charles. And that's what I mean, the disrespect. When you disrespect the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, you're disrespecting every other fighter in that and every other fight in that card. Because you're not really a boxing fan. Charles, you're not really a boxing fan. You just here to troll. You just here to cry like most of you boxing heads. Oh, fighters not giving us what we want to see. Oh, he ain't nothing. He don't worth nothing. If it wasn't for Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor would have been in the backyard of Eddie Hearn's mansion. If it wasn't for Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, the 7th Division World Champion, undisputed, the most decorated woman fighter in the history of the sport of boxing. Katie Taylor, the trailblazer for her way to have women Olympics in boxing, bruh. If it wasn't for Jake Paul, that beautiful fight that we see, that fight of the year candidates for the second time would have been in the backyard of Eddie Hearn's house as a co-main to Povetkin and Dillian Mother effing White. You talking about Jake Paul ain't good for boxing, you piece of human garbages? What you talking about? He's all great for the sport of boxing. Showbox ain't here. Showtime's left boxing. And what happened to Showbox? The prospects. We can't even look at prospect no more because there's not a show for prospect. But guess what? Jake Paul got a show for prospect fighters. So we know what's going to be the come up. We're going to know who's going to be the next star. Piece of human garbage is out here crying and bitching every time in the sport of boxing. And then you wonder why boxing isn't in life support out here in this side of the pond. Y'all the same type to be like, I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna pay for it. Get your cheap behind out of the sport of boxing. I'm gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna give $80 to this fight. Get your bro. Hey, yo, women be watching y'all. Y'all be exposing yourself. I ain't go, but you be buying. When you go to the club, you pay $10, $8 for a Red Bull. When you in the club, you pay $5 for a water bottle. Huh? You the same other efforts that be paying, that be spending $200 to $300 for a blowjob because you don't got no woman that will give it to you for free. I ain't gonna pay for it. I ain't gonna pay for it. Got it here. Y'all don't be complaining. Hey, y'all don't be complaining in the gas station when you used to pay $1.79 a gallon and now you paying close to $5. I ain't gonna pay for the $9. I used to pay this much. Come on, man, pump that gas or you ain't gonna go nowhere. You better pay for the gas. Pay for the gas or you ain't going nowhere. Pay for the fight or you ain't gonna see shit. Thank you, Sha. Thank you, Sha. Sha, kanda rilaki po sa troqueo. Rilaki, sorry Dios, rilaki, usa. But right, Sha, we got beautiful ladies like Sha watching y'all comments saying, I ain't gonna pay for it. Sha's like, man, look at these sheep motherfuckers. These sheep motherfuckers can't even. Y'all the dudes, when y'all go to a restaurant with a chick and stuff like that, and the bill comes, and y'all be like, what's the 20%? And y'all calculate it 20%. 20%. Man, dale eso 15 pesos de tipi, 10 pesos, or $12, ya, que. Mírate, Chippy. Maybe calculating like that. Sorry, 20%. All right, 739. All right, give it. All right, give him $6.50. You got any change? No. I don't like going out with people like that. No. I don't like going out with cheapy people. No. Because when you go out, hey, let the money fling out. You'll get it back by the end of the week. Got boxing content creators. You got boxing content creators saying, I don't like this fight, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, but yet they want to go live. They want to go live and collect the super chats and the views and stuff like that. I don't like this Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. I don't think it's a good fight. I don't think it's good for boxing, but let me go live and capitalize off them. I don't think this fight is good for boxing, but then they complaining, yo, it's just buffering, man. Yo, this shit is crazy, man. It's crazy. No. Netflix knew who to do it to. Netflix was like this. Wasn't this person talking shit about the fight? Let's buffer. You ain't gonna watch everything. There you go. Keep on hitting on the fight. You thought it was by mistake. Netflix was doing it to y'all on purpose. Netflix did it to y'all on purpose. Y'all was complaining about the fight. Mike Tyson's too old. Mike Tyson, Netflix, they got that information in. All right, this guy in Indiana was complaining. Let's buffer. You ain't gonna watch the fight. He was complaining. Let's next one we got. New York City, Jeffrey, he was complaining. Remember? Let's buffer you. What about that region over there in Atlanta, Georgia? Damien was complaining. We're going to buffer it. You're not gonna watch anything. Look at Shy. Shy said, buff it on me. Well, look at Shy. Well, all right, she's a pretty little lady, but she wasn't 100% sure about the fight. We're gonna buffer it. Man, people complaining about this shit, but they don't want to complain about this buffering. I don't understand why people was complaining about buffering, because the boxing fans, you are used to buffering. You're used to not paying for an event. You are used to going to what? Stream East? What's the other? What's the other illegal or stream sites? You're used to the buffer. Oh, come on. I'm used to this all the time, but damn it, I didn't think it was going to happen to Netflix too. You're used to watching fights buffering. You who steal fights are used to it. I don't know why y'all acting up like complaining all of a sudden. I don't know why people is complaining all of a sudden when most of y'all in the boxing world is used to the buffering because you steal fights. Who is James says, yo, fight was free and lame and we're still complaining. Thriller in the building was good. What's good, Thriller? He said, I wanted to kick my TV. D-Miller, what's good? Hey, yo, smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like. You got a great show. That was just my opinion. I just want to see boxing skills. Tyson is way past his prime, and Jake has not been good. No. Forget about it. Hey, yo, Charles, put it this way, Charles. And thank you, my brother. You know, we all jokes out here, right? We got high energy. It's the spectacle. It's the event. I'm a diehard Mike Tyson fan. The reason why I love boxing is because of Mike Tyson. If Mike Tyson probably, when I was young, was never that guy, I probably would never fall in love with the sport. Sometimes is that athlete that make you love the sport, make you love the team, and then make you become a diehard fan of that team or that. Look, I'm gonna give you an example. I love baseball. I used to love baseball so much, right? They'd be like, yo, Punch, what's your favorite team? My favorite team is actually the Cleveland Indians. Yeah, we're losers. Yeah. We always choke. Yeah, we haven't won since 1948. But the reason why I love Cleveland is because my favorite player was Kenny Lofton, Manny Ramirez. And I'm still a fan of Cleveland. They're way past. They retired a long time ago. But I'm still a fan because they just made me a diehard Cleveland. I love the Yankees, but Cleveland is what I love it. Loved him, right? I never got the opportunity to see Mike Tyson in person. I never got to see the opportunity. And guess what? I used to say that Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor will be the biggest fight in the sport of boxing way before there was about a fight. I said way before that everybody imagined that these are $1 million fighters, especially Amanda Serrano. I used to fight for. I used to fight other people for it. People used to say that she was worth $75,000. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I used to debate people, argue with people, boxing personnels, pundits, credible people that got the power of the pen to put these fighters in the Hall of Fame. 99% was saying that I don't know nothing about boxing, that I don't know the business of boxing, that I don't know the value of certain fighters. And I said since day one, Amanda Serrano, she is $1 million fighter. Even when Amanda Serrano said when she had an interview with me years ago, and she said, "At least I'll get at least 300K. It'll be good." I said, "No, you're a 7-figure fighter." I was happy she pulled out of negotiations, and look where they at now. You think that I was gonna miss Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor in Madison Square Garden, and you think I was gonna miss the fight in Dallas, Texas? And then you think I'm going to miss Mike Tyson? I don't care if he was 58 years old. Hey, yo, I went to the Guns N' Roses concert when they got back together a couple of years ago. Axl Rose, he and Slash, they don't look the same. Axl don't sing the same. He don't sing the same. He's like 50% of himself. But guess what? I was out there singing every damn word. Welcome to the jungle. It was happy. I was happy to see Mike Tyson. I was happy to see how Jake Paul, Most Valuable Promotions, do his thing in terms of his business savvy, bringing Netflix. Y'all was following the channel. The way that they brought Netflix, knowing that in the sport of boxing, American entities, networks is leaving the sport of boxing. They leave in the sport of boxing. Jake Paul is bringing a whole new entity in Netflix. And what are we talking now? Yo, what about if Gervonta Tan Davis or Bud Crawford, or let's see Gervonta Tan Davis versus Teofimo Lopez, Netflix, and we don't got to pay for pay-per-view. He's bringing that to the table. He's bringing Netflix to our sport. It's bigger than just Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. It's the opportunity for the sport. Fighter come and go. But we always going to be boxing fans. I saw the bigger picture since day one. It's just not about the fight. How many, time out. We thought that Bud Crawford or Earl Spence was going to be 50-50. We was analyzing this fight like it was going to be Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm sorry, it was going to be Hagler versus Hearns the first round. That's how we thought that Bud and Earl Spence was going to be. It wasn't that. We didn't buy into a whitewash. We didn't buy into a one-sided fight, right? As much as we complain about the Jake Pauls and Mike Tyson, but we didn't. Did you buy in for the Bud Crawford or Earl Spence? Did you thought that it was going to go that way? How about the fight of the century? We was waiting for Manny Pacquiao, the 8th division world champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, Dico Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather, 5th division world champion, the richest. How many former fighter he fought? Like 23, 22. The richest athlete that ever lived, Floyd Mayweather. We was waiting for that fight. We was crying for that fight. We was shaming each team, each fighter for that fight. And when we got it, what happened? One of the most boringest fight that we ever saw. If it wasn't for the flurry of Manny Pacquiao, I believe it was the 3rd or the 5th round. It's hard to even watch that fight twice. I don't think that people saw that fight twice. You'll forward to the flurry of Manny Pacquiao, and that's it. But we paid $100 pay-per-view. We was waiting for that fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather was the fight that we all want to see. Yet, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather gave boxing the biggest black eye. Because let me tell you something about that fight. The fight that we all wanted to see, the best fighting the best, icon versus icon, damaged boxing more than a Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Because that fight, many people left. Yo, I used to speak to a lot of people and they'd be like, yo, a lot of fight fans that was boxing fans. We used to throw boxing parties. The last real boxing party consistently, because we used to throw parties every other great fight, was Canelo Triple G. And that was a good fight. But let me tell you like this. That Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao gave boxing a black eye. A lot of people ran to MMA. A lot of people ran to the UFC. And then the heavyweight division was so much of a ghost town. We had a boring fighter in Klitschko, and we had a boring fighter in Tyson Fury that beat Klitschko to the point when Tyson Fury left, nobody was thinking about the heavyweight division anyway because the best fight was so boring. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather was so boring. That's it. People was fed up. People was fed up. We waited all these years for this. And they went to the UFC. And let me say it like this. Boxing is still trying to climb. Boxing is still healing from Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. You know why we're still healing from it? Because there was a new generation. A new generation. Let me tell you the evolution of all sports. There's an evolution, like Dr. J, MJ, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the LeBron James, right? There's an evolution and elevation of athleticism, right? Back in the days, they used to just shoot like 5 threes a game, or before them, it never was threes. Now everybody's shooting threes. You even got you got Carl Anthony Towns shooting threes. You got the Lopez twins, the 7-footer shooting threes. Now a 3-pointer is just, now a 3-pointer in the NBA is just as easy as a layup. It's an evolution, right? But in boxing, this what happened. That fighters was watching Floyd Mayweather succeed, undefeated, and had all the money. And Manny Pacquiao was right there. But guess what? Floyd Mayweather, boring skills as Money May. I'm not talking about Pretty Boy Floyd because he was one of my favorite fighters as well. Pretty Boy Floyd and Money May was 2 different type of fighters. That's how great Floyd Mayweather is. That we talk about him like if he was 2 people. But Money May beat the exciting, sensational fighter in Manny Pacquiao. Guess what? The up-and-coming fighters, the youth, we evolve. They have to follow the next guy. Just like kids are watching right now, the Stephen Currys and the LeBron James, right? So they evolutionize after that. Fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Oh, if Floyd Mayweather was successful like this, I'm going to emulate that style. And now we have a lot of fighters like that. The Richardson Hitchens, the Shakur Stevenson. Shout out to these fighters, great skills, but it's not box office. But it's winning style. We need to get back to that entertaining style. This is the reason why a lot of people do like Gervonta Tank Davis. This is the reason why Atifa Lopez is real entertaining. This is the reason why people like who else is entertaining? They like David Benavidez. Now we're going back, but it took years. It almost took a decade for us to go back. For us to go back to that really entertaining. No. It's not about winning. It's how you win now. We went back to that. It's how you win now. Now you just ain't going to win like that. No. That's why a lot of people got fed up. Look, before a person would get credit for going 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. But I understand why a lot of people was critiquing Jermell Charlo. See, if it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and Jermell Charlo would have gone the whole 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, jumping 2 weight classes, right? People would have been like, hey, yo, Jermell Charlo survived, and they would have been that Canelo Alvarez couldn't cut the ring off to end the fight. But now people's like, nah, you ain't fight. Nah. We rather see you go out in your shield and get knocked out. Right? That's how people felt. Even though, hey, shout out to Jermell Charlo, the Iron Man and stuff like that. But I understood why people was fed up with that style. See, going 12 rounds was just not enough for people. That's it. People was not falling for just going for 12 rounds and people going to give him props. I understand that. We understand that. Right? Still a huge fan of Jermell Charlo. I hope he comes back to the 154-pound division and fight Bud Crawford. I think that's going to be a spectacular fight. But people now wants to be entertained. And that's why now people are saying that belts don't matter. people wants to see Ryan Garcia. People want to see Gervonta Tank Davis. They're in this generation. They're the cash cows of this young generation, and they don't give a damn about belts. Look at the fight that we're talking about right now. February 1st, David Morrell versus David Benavidez. Two entertaining fighters. I know in their last fight, there wasn't all entertaining, but of course, there's a couple of hiccups in every fighter, every power hitter. But we understand that for the most part, these guys are entertaining fighters. David Morrell is a guy that almost killed a guy in the ring. David Benavidez, you know what I'm saying, spectacular performance versus my brother, Demetrius Andre. But people don't care. This is a big fight. Look, the co-main event is a title fight between Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton. Two good potential, great fighters. And they're in the co-main event to a non-title matchup. When did we see that in the sport of boxing? We wasn't seeing that. But because people now want entertainment, and now entertainment is the primary for the boxing fans. The sport of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, is unfortunate, but the sport of boxing, especially in this side of the pond, is dying. But boxing entertainment is alive and well. Fighters and fans are willing to pour their money out with entertaining fighters. Why is Mike Tyson at the age of 58 still leave that type of perception and illusion in our minds? Because he was entertainment. He defined entertainment. Mike Tyson left an impression in our hearts and our minds that he's immortal. You see Mike Tyson, even after the performance of Jake Paul, get in the room with Mike Tyson. Get in the room. And he still has that aura. He had that aura after the fight. He left an impression that it would never go away. That's why he's always going to be the baddest man of the planet. Always going to be the baddest man of the planet. That's why there was 70,000 people, because we haven't seen nothing like it since. If we seen the evolution of Mike Tyson, and we seen how much you want to bet, if we seen at least three heavyweights that has come close to a Mike Tyson, maybe this would have never happened. Maybe 70,000 people would have been in attendance, or 74 million views would have never would have been streamed. Hey, Holyfield had a fight with Victor Belfort. Holyfield was a champion. Holyfield's the guy. Oliver McCall is about to fight some dude next month or in 2 months. But Mike Tyson, even though even when we know that he lost twice to Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson is just bigger than Holyfield. He lost to Lennox Lewis, but you put these threes in a room and it's still Mike Tyson, because the excitement, the freak of nature of Mike Tyson is one of one. So now, for those who want to criticize this fight, I want you to support this fight. I want the boxing fans and the boxing entities and pundits and media to pump this fight, David Morrell and David Benavidez, because this is the best fight in the best. This is knockout artist versus knockout artist. This is youth versus youth. Boogeyman versus boogeyman. Strong. Both of these guys are strong. I want, if it going pay-per-view, this is pay-per-view, make it go 1 million. You want boxing to be alive? Let's pump air in the lungs of boxing. Let's pump air in the lungs of this fight. Let's see. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's see if we really speaking truth. Let's see if we really want the real. Let's see if we really disappointed of the fake. Let's see if we really want to get away from the clown shit. So let's support the real. Support what you feel is the best of the best. I don't want to see if you get 100,000K pay-per-view buys. No. I don't want to see 200K pay-per-view buys. No, I don't want to see 300. No. Boxing is a world sport. Now, the boxing world has responsibility to protect and elevate the real. Oh, y'all gonna do it? Ladies and gentlemen, let me say in the chat, how many of you think that this is going to do over 150K. Hmm? How many of you think that's going to do more than 150K? As I said, under 100K. Hey, yo, look, we here 40 minutes. A channel that got 101K subscribers, got 38 people looking on, and we're talking about Benavidez and Morrell. This is when I know that the boxing world is not about this fight. Hey, yo, we'll have more people here if me and Southpaw had a debate. More people will be more interested in that than this live. If another boxing content creator is going at it, hey, yo, you ain't ish. Your mama is this, and your daddy is this, and your son and your daughter is this. Hey, yo, this live will be balloon up. Even the boxing community tells the boxing content creator not to talk about real boxing. We all about gossip and debates. Gossip and debates. It tells guys like me that, you know what it tells me? I don't want to talk about this David Benavidez-Morell shit. It's a waste of my damn time. That's what it tells me. Because when men lie, women lie, my numbers don't. We look at the numbers. Boxing content creators, we look at numbers as well. Let's not fake ourselves. We want to know if our work is being reciprocated. And when we see the numbers, be like, I never want to talk about this. Let's talk about drama. Let's talk about Mike Tyson's butt. How many pimples he got in his left cheek? Shah said, I am for the fight. We got 35 likes, 46 people looking on. 35 likes is telling Punch Run Boxing. Punch, next live, please talk about something else. We don't want to talk about David Morrell and David Benavidez. Casuals don't know Morrell to purchase the fight. Well, whose job for us is the hardcores? My thought says casuals don't know Morrell to purchase the fight. So it's up to the casual but the hardcore boxing fans, there's enough hardcore boxing fans because think about it. Boxing is a worldwide sport. This ain't the NFL, where the NFL is only known really in America and a little bit in the UK. We don't expect China, Africa to buy into the NFL, but boxing is a world sport. So I don't care. This is supposed to be a success. David Morrell versus David Benavidez is supposed to be a success. So what you're saying is that there's not enough hardcores, or that the hardcores are cheap, that this fight is not good enough for the people across the pond to stay up 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Let me tell you like this. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. When Tim Tszyu is fighting in Australia, I stay up. When Inoue, check out my videos and check out the lives. When Inoue is fighting, I'm up. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's probably fighting at 6:45 in the morning. We up watching the fight. On New Year's Eve, when it was Ioka versus Tanaka, I was up. We was watching boxing because we're hardcores. I wish Planet and Andre were on the undercard. I wish they could be in the undercard. I wish, they could have their own card. Dímelo, David con la bandera de Puerto Rico. What's good, brother? We got 39 likes right now, folks. David Morrell and David Benavidez no hacen nada para mí. Vamos a hablar de Devin Haney, su papá. Let's talk about what we want to talk about, folks. Nobody knows Morrell, unfortunately. That is a massive main event. But we got time for everybody to know them. The boxing content creator. And let me tell you like this also, because I didn't say this in my video. I said in the beginning of the video, but I didn't clarify what I really wanted to say in terms of Jake Paul. I am tired of the Jake Paul is a YouTuber. But the way that people say is like, if they try to diminish YouTuber, like, oh, you a YouTuber. Well, I want to know for the people in the chat, what when people say that, what do you think they're trying to tell Jake Paul or people like, oh man, you's a YouTuber? What's that mean? It's almost like they trying to like devalue or something like that, like we're less than or something. What does that mean to tell Jake Paul, oh, it's a fighter versus a YouTuber? Because let me tell you something about this YouTube thing and why. I don't know how other YouTube boxing content creators see it in YouTube. I don't know how they see it. But you know what? I see that Jake Paul is one of us. Yeah. Every time when somebody calls him a YouTuber, it's like you're talking to me. What do you mean, Jake Paul, YouTuber? Because let me tell you like this, in the sport of boxing, oh, he's fighting. He hasn't fought a real boxer. He had it for the real. Well, he got a professional record right now. Jake Paul got a professional record. What is he, 12-1? Oh, he got a professional record. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what you think. Yeah, he got a professional boxing record. You sitting at home saying that he's not a real fighter, hasn't even got in the ring yet. So who you to tell Jake Paul that got professional coaches, the same strength and conditioning coach that Jake Paul has is the same strength and conditioning coach that Caitlin Plant has, Sean Porter has. He prepares like a professional fighter. He spars professionals. He put in the work as a professional athlete. Yes. But when they say the YouTube thing, let me tell you something about boxing and the relationship with YouTube. If it wasn't for YouTubers, boxing wouldn't be nothing today. If we talk about, yo, boxing is dead. Boxing, no. If it wasn't for YouTube, boxing will be dead. Finito, fatality. We the ones out here that's talking about boxing day in and day out, 24/7. For all you YouTubers that's throwing darts at Jake Paul, let's not forget that he represents us also. He's the YouTuber in the ring. We're the YouTubers that keep boxing alive day in, day out, because ESPN don't do it. No other channels in America does it. Go to First Take tomorrow morning. Let's see if they're going to be talking about boxing. Let's see if they're going to be talking about David Benavidez versus David Morrell. Let's see if they're going to be talking about Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa. Let's see if they're going to be talking about, Pitbull Cruz is jumping right back in the ring. Let's see if they're going to be talking about it. Let's see if they're going to be talking about Kid Austin. Let's see if they're going to be talking about Keyshawn Davis versus Dennis from the Ukraine next. Let's see if they're going to be talking about it. If it wasn't for YouTube, because we just a bunch of YouTubers. Como si no somos nadie. Like we don't do nothing. Like we don't stamp boxing. You want to know what's going on? You want to know what updates in the sport of boxing? You come to YouTube, because ain't nobody else going to be doing the job. Ain't nobody else going to be working. Ain't nobody else going to tell you what's happening in the sport of boxing if you don't go to YouTube. Even there's fighters that'll be like, I don't be watching none of these YouTube and stuff like that. These YouTubers and stuff like, shut the F up. We're the only one that talk about you. All right? We giving you light. This is for the fighters that try to downplay us. No. If it wasn't for us, nobody know who the hell you are. Nobody would know your name. Nobody will talk about you. That fan that want to shake your hand, that fan that's asking for an autograph, knew you through YouTube. Facts. So please, folks, stop with the degrading of calling other people YouTuber, YouTube. No. If it wasn't for certain channels, you wouldn't know or know too much about the fighters. Because certain fighters got relationship with the YouTube content creator or the independent media, whatever you want to call it. If it wasn't for Punch Drunk, you wouldn't know. It took a year for y'all to hear about Demetrius Andre. You wouldn't know what's going on. If it wasn't for Ellie that got relationships with Gervonta Tank Davis, you won't know his real updates. If it wasn't for 78 Sports TV, you wouldn't know what the hell Deontay Wilder is thinking, gonna do next, or things of that nature. If it wasn't for Blue Blood Sports TV, you wouldn't know what was BLK Prime. Let's be real. Let's be honest. If it wasn't Punch, you might not know half of what Teofimo Lopez next move may be, or his mind, or the platform that he feels comfortable in and coming and chopping it up to. Want to know? I had Lucas Body 3 years ago on the channel. You knew who Lucas Body for the first time watching Netflix. In America, tell me what channel tells you about Ben Whitaker. Tell me what channel was pumping Keyshawn Davis. Tell me when you heard the phrase that they use today, that Boots is the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. Where you think they got that from? It wasn't Boots. It wasn't Boots when 6 years ago, Punch Run Backs and says Jerome Boots Ennis is the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. You wouldn't know too much about Deontay Wilder if it wasn't for the boxing voice in the beginning of his career, right? You wouldn't know too much about Deontay Wilder. YouTube is what kept boxing alive. You wouldn't know too much about Bill Haney if it wasn't for the YouTube channels. Bill Haney wouldn't even have a voice the way that he has a voice. Rapstar Boxing Out, the voice of the UK. London says, tell them us YouTubers was pushing and making the Benavidez and Boo Boo fight was because of Punch and Rapstar Do You. Exactly. Shout out to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. Behind the scenes for a year. Hey, yo, Boo Boo, yo. My boy knows Benavidez. Yo, you want to fight with David Benavidez? Yeah, man. Tell him I want to fight with David Benavidez. Hey, yo, Rapstar. Hey, yo, talk to Jose Benavidez Sr. and stuff like that. Then we're talking to Jose Benavidez Sr. Yeah, I would like that fight, and we're pumping that fight. Hey, yo, yes, send the contract. Hey, yo, let's get together for a whole year. And then guess what? When the world of boxing was not paying attention to this fight, that fight came through fruition. Oh, no, but YouTubers ain't nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, I've helped sign 3 fighters off of this channel alone. You don't think that sometimes we get frustrated as boxing content creators. Yeah, sometimes we get frustrated because this probably the support is kind of low. Yeah, probably, you know what I'm saying? The support is kind of low. The viewership ain't that good time and time again. But let me tell you like this. But then I think like, yo, Punch Run Boxing. And I got supporters and I got haters. Had the pleasure of helping 3 fighters get a fight deal. One of the fighters is going to be fighting for his first regional belt, Henry Senor Martinez, in Orlando, December 14th. Eldy Senor Martinez is working to get a co-promotional deal with Top Rank. This little channel right here. I just don't say, yo, support the channel because, it's just for Punch. No. It's because I know what these platforms could do for boxing. The relationship it could create because of the support of y'all. Yeah, I want the numbers to be where it's supposed to be. So the people in the sport of boxing be like, hey, yo, man, there's something special. Let me partner up. Let me have an interview with him. Let's see what's all about. And it opened doors. You up next. They watching YouTube. Now look at now what you watching. Who do you see? Shout out to Showbiz, the adult, the GOAT. Who you saw in Netflix? Who y'all saw on Netflix? This is our community. Who you saw on Netflix? Who you saw interviewing the fighters, interviewing Ramos, interviewing Mario Barrios? Who you saw? Who Most Valuable Promotions says, you know what? You know why Most Valuable Promotions are smart? Shout out to Nikisa and shout out to Jake Paul. Because they come from our world. Jake Paul comes from our world. And look, and so they know, you know what? Let's partner up with Showbiz, because Showbiz got 300,000 subscribers. And when he go live, he does just as much views as the fight itself. Let's have him. Let's give him an opportunity. See, these other old promotional companies are dumb. They dumb. See, but Most Valuable Promotions, like I said on Twitter the other day, and I think I said it in one of the lives, I said they're creating the new blueprint. See, some of the boxing entities, the old entities and old promoters still shit. They just, yeah, they want us for media credentials and stuff like that, but they really don't respect us. They just want to use us. They don't want to partner up with us. Most Valuable Promotions partners up with the YouTubers. When I interviewed Jake Paul for the first time, he wasn't doing no interviews. Nikisi, shout out to Nikisa. He says that's the co-CEO of Most Valuable Promotion. He says, "Hey, no, this is Punch. This is one of this is the number one supporter for the man of Serrano." And Jake Paul said, "Yo, man, thank you very much. You know why? Because that's their fighter, and they're seeing the YouTuber. They respect, they acknowledge. You see that? Let me tell you something about Top Rank. And I'm not saying that this is everybody on Top Rank. When they see me and they see the collaboration and the relationships that me and Teofimo Lopez have, instead of saying, yo, Punch, you know what? We can't get Tio's probably is hard to work with us, but you know what, man? How about y'all do something together for ESPN? Because Teofimo, y'all friends. Teofimo Lopez respects you. You get the best out. You get the best out of Teofimo Lopez when it comes to interviews and stuff like that, or chopping it up or whatever. Y'all have this camaraderie. You know what? Punch Drunk Boxing. No, you know what they do? They say, F Punch Drunk Boxing, you're blackballed. Tio, do not talk to that guy. That's what they did. That's what they do. They think backwards. I am blackballed from Top Rank for having the relationships and the friendship and the camaraderie I have with Teofimo Lopez. Ain't that a bitch? Well, another promotional company will see and be like, you know what? Hey, come over here, man. Forget a Mark Crago. You know what I'm saying? Forget about Crago. Forget about, man. Y'all both are good dynamic together. It just makes our job even easier. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, come through. Let's partner up. Your boy, Demise Andre. Let me tell you something about Demise Andre. And I said the other day, he's one of the realest mother effer that I ever met in boxing. And that's my brother, that's my friend. But I've seen him, I'm not seeing him. He said it in front of people when I couldn't go to pass. I think I couldn't go. They didn't want me to. They didn't want me to be at a certain spot or something and be like, no. He's with me. F y'all. I'm like, he'll go. He's appreciative and a real G that he will go against the grain and make sure that, you ain't gonna snub no Punch Drunk Boxing. That dude supports me. Get out of here. Now he here. There's real people and there's other people that be like, shy away. Reciprocate the respect, reciprocate the love, reciprocate the support. Rapstar Boxing Knowledge saying, hey, yo, in boxing it's very hard to meet the realest people. So if you meet anyone who is, keep them close. Facts. And it's a two-way street as way. You feel me? So In the end of the day, this is let's go back to the title of the live. Boxing fans that's been complaining, they feel like, yo, Shy, they feel like when he chops it up with me, they feel he say outlandish things or controversial things, and they expect him not to say it with me. But when he says it with them, then it's okay. That's the part I never understood about them. Every lead up to the fight, what they love to do with Tion and his dad is break them up and make them always feel like they have a dysfunctional. They like to sell the dysfunction of father and son, but they never like to sell the beautiful relationship that Teofimo Lopez and his father has. That's what I sell. That's what I bring to the table. When we have Senior, we have Tio, and they laughing and they cracking up, and it's all love, and fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. What they like to do leading up to every fight, like they did to Nakatani, like they did to Richard Comey, like they did to Lomachenko. Remember, they had that clip of him tearing and stuff like that. And then leading up to the Jermaine Ortiz, right? Every time is a lead up to the Tio fight. They have to show a clip of they being dysfunctional. And let me tell you like this: 98% of the time, they're always having a good time. They're best friends. You see them, they go everywhere together. Teofimo Lopez show his father love all day long. They go everywhere together, but the top ranks, they always like to show that they're dysfunctional and his son hates his father and his father. And even, you remember that clip? Did you remember that clip when Teofimo Lopez Sr. says to Mark Kragel, edit that up, edit it out. And Mark Kragel says, no, we're not going to edit nothing out. Because they want to push the image of father and son not getting along. But when it punch on boxing, edit this thing out. Edit this thing out. Why y'all don't edit y'all little bullshit things that y'all like to do to put these? Because in the end of the day, when they see that, you don't think that hurts Senior? You don't think that hurts Senior as a father? But these mother effers don't care, because you know what they want? They want Teofimo Lopez to boo his father. They you know what they would like? These TR mother effers, they would love Teofimo Lopez to kick his father to the curb. That's what they want. And I'm glad that Tio doesn't do that and stay loyal to his dad. But he sees it, he hears it, he knows what's going on. He knows what people are pushing. But let's talk about this David Morrell and David Benavidez. Let's talk about the good of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I believe both events are great for boxing. If y'all feel, because we could look at it in different ways. If y'all feel that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is not what is pure boxing to you, then acknowledge the other fights on the undercard or the co-main, or sharing the main event. Acknowledge that, because if you disrespect Jake Paul and Tyson and say, "Oh, this was stupid, you're disrespecting boxing in the end of the day, because there's so much good that Jake Paul does in the sport of boxing. Jake Paul is showing these young fighters you don't need to be stuck in one network. Jake Paul showed you, have your promotional company, right? But just don't have your promotional sticker on the banner. Truly invest in yourself. Truly bet on yourself. Flip your own bill. See, a lot of people, I'm gonna say it like this: when I was chopping it up with Bill Haney on the Boxing Voice, right? We was debating, and it sounds like hate, but it's not hate. You know, sometimes when you sound too real, it seems like it's hate. When you sound too real, it seems like you're saying something wrong, but you're actually saying something right. Sometimes you could have a friendship with somebody, and you could say something that is real, and sometimes they resent you for it. Nah, man, get the F out of here, man. I thought you was my boy. You was this. I thought you was that. Nah, nah, nah. And then later on in life, or later in the year, or months or days, you be like, yo, my fault, man. It's true what you was trying to say, bro. My fault. I got into my feelings and whatever like that, right? Everybody been through that situation. We all humans. Everybody been through that situation in relationships and friendships and all that. Workship, you know what I'm saying? Co-worker stuff. We all been in that situation where somebody told you something really real, but you really thought that they was trying to hate on you or disrespecting you, and then you realize that, you know what, nah, he was looking out for me. So remember when I was debating with Bill Haney on the Boxing Voice, and the Boxing Voice is pro Devin Haney and Bill Haney, so their fans and subscribers and followers are pro Devin Haney, because that's why they that's how they got massaged to be. So when they see and hear somebody that's going against whatever Bill Haney may be saying, then they feel like I'm a hater. Bill Haney says, why we don't get the money that the New York State Athletic Commission gave Golden Boy Promotions. Don't you think that we deserve that money? And I said, no. If you would have flipped the bill, then you would have part of that money. If you would have flipped the bill, if you was a promotional company co-promoting it and co-flipping the bill with Golden Boy Promotions, you would have got half of that money. If you are DHP, I think right now is the perfect time for you to flip the bill. It's the perfect time. Y'all talk about money. Y'all say you got all this money. Guess what? It's your chance right now to flip your bill, to make your own show. You pay for the deposit of the arena. You do all of that. Just like Oscar De La Hoya did with Golden Boy Promotions. The reason why Oscar De La Hoya is a real G, he flipped the bill to Golden Boy Promotions. And look what Golden Boy Promotions is at today. That's real betting on yourself. Not having a little sticker in the banner and begging a Eddie Hearn or a Top Rank or a Bob Arum. Nah, it's time for you to do it yourself. If you say that this is the Devin Haney era, show the world. I'll back it up. I'll represent it. I'll support it. I said years ago, go watch the archives, that Bill Haney and Devin Haney, DHP, may be one of the most powerful entities in the sport of boxing, because by the time he reached 32, he just turned 26 years old. If they will keep winning, add fighters, sign fighters, and stuff like that, by the age of 32, because Bill Haney is very smart in the sport of boxing, to get his son in the position that he got him to, it's not easy. Ask any manager. It's not easy to build a Devin Haney and put him in the position the way he's at today, especially by the age of 26. If they would have kept going in that route, by 32, I projected they was going to be one of the most powerful entities in the sport of boxing. But you got to flip your bill. You got to bet on yourself. Truly bet on yourself. Why didn't DHP bid it on their own fight? Instead of waiting on Top Rank and Matchroom Boxing, why didn't DHP bid it on the fight with Sandor Martin? That would have told you, damn, you making power moves. I'm proud of you. So that's what I was saying. Flip your own bill. Flip your own bill. That's not hate. That's me pushing for y'all to be what y'all destined to be, in my opinion, in the business side of things. Shall I say, I'm all for Berlanga versus Paul. Hey, yo, Paul is good for the sport of boxing, because everything else what he's doing is good. Women boxing. Look what Jake Paul stated. Look, this is what Jake Paul tweeted. You don't think I want to support? Think about this. This is what he tweeted yesterday. Let me see if I find it. Jake Paul says, my boxing path forward, building MVP, the company, will be focused on women and prospects and cultural events in any sport, becoming a world champion and doing massive events along the way. You think that's something I don't want to support? That's something I will support. And I'm going to keep on supporting. Jake Paul could have could have chose an easy route. Jake Paul could have got a free agent and got one of these high invested fighters that became a free agent and then start building him up. He signed Amanda Serrano. You think that's easy? You think every promoter is looking at, let me sign this woman fighter and let's make her one of the biggest stars in the sport of boxing, because she's not only, let's be real, let's be honest. This wasn't one of the best women fights that we ever seen. This is one of the best fights that we ever seen. Because the style of Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, no disrespect, they fight like men, bro. No disrespect to the ladies, because of course they really take pride in pushing women boxing and pushing women empowerment and things of that nature. But the reason why Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, their styles match up so good, and everybody speaks that language in terms of the fight language. They fight like dudes, bro. They throw hands like it. Sharp, precise. Katie Taylor got better hands than 80% of the dudes in boxing. She got better combination than dudes in the sport of boxing. The way that Amanda Serrano goes and from left hooks to the body and stuff like that is just as good as any elite fighter. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano was more entertaining than guys like, I gotta say the truth, than guys like a Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Richardson Hitchens and stuff like that. Am I saying they better? Oh, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you tell me which hands I like to see better, I like to see Katie Taylor better than Devin Haney. No, I gotta be real, and I gotta be. I'm not saying nothing like that, but matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say Devin Haney, because everybody's gonna be like, I'm always hating on Devin Haney or something like that. I'd rather see Katie Taylor than Richardson Hitchens. I'd rather see the Amanda Serrano better than 80% of the other male fighters. Let me say it like this. If you were to tell me that I'm going to see the trilogy February 1st, and I have to pick one, either Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano or David Benavidez versus David Morrell, and I have to pick one fight to watch, one TV, one outlet, I'm picking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. I'm picking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis, or the trilogy of Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, I'm picking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Richardson Hitchens or Pyro, I'm picking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Canelo Alvarez versus Diego Pacheco, I'm picking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. I'm picking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Because one thing I know for sure, I'm going to be entertained, and you know you're going to be entertained. You don't even got to say, I don't know I don't know how the fight is going to turn out. You already seen 20 rounds. You know what to expect, and it's probably going to be even escalated more. Can you imagine they thinking about going 3-minute rounds? The negotiations already have begun. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor is just not one of the best women fights of all time. It's one of the best fights I ever seen. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do after the live? I'm going to watch the first fight and the second fight like that throughout. Like if I'm watching 20 rounds. Like if I'm watching 20 rounds, just the straight 20 rounds I'm going to watch. It's not 1 minute that these girls let off. Not one. There is not one round in 20 rounds I'd be like, oh, she's taking a round off. Not like how we do it with certain men fights. Or the 7th round, it seemed like he's taking a round off. Nah. 20 rounds, straight punches. Straight punches flying, bro. We always say that the best round in boxing history is Hagler versus Hearns first round. Guess what? That's Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano for 20 rounds. De verdad. The best round in boxing history that everybody always say is Hagler versus Hearn, the first round. Guess what? That fight lasted 3 rounds, and nobody could forget about that fight because nobody could forget about that first round. One of the best fights in the history of the sport of boxing. That everybody be like, yo, I wish that boxing goes back to like it was back in the days. Hagler versus Hearns. Do you remember Hagler versus Hearns? Yeah, I remember. It only lasted 3 rounds. That was only 3 rounds. If y'all don't remember, that fight was only 3 rounds. But the first round was so epic, it felt like it was 15 rounds. But it was only 3 rounds. Female version of Gotti and Ward. But 20 rounds of that. 20 rounds straight. No let up. No breaks. No, nothing. You can't even breathe. None of the girls let them each other breathe. All I'm saying is let's keep it consistent. If Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is not what you wanted, it's not real boxing, it's bad for boxing, it's a clown show, then you're telling me that David Benavidez and David Morrell is the standard of what you want boxing to be. If boxing is a world sport, then everybody should be invested in David Benavidez and David Morrell. Let's send a message that this is what we really want, and this is what we appreciate, and this is what's really real in the sport of boxing. Like I said in the beginning of the live, I do not want to hear that David Morrell and David Benavidez, a fight that we've been asking for, especially in the 168-pound division. I don't want to hear that we don't know who Morrell is. I don't want to hear that we don't know who David Benavidez is. Well, let me tell you like this. It's going to be 2 months of promotion that by the time the fight happens, you all should know who they are. We're going to do our job to push for the fight. We're going to do our job to push for the fight. Hey, even Mike Tyson is the one that gave David Benavidez the Mexican Monster's name, right? So we know who David Benavidez is because we know who Mike Tyson is. That's the best. That is the best cosign you could get in the sport of boxing. David Benavidez got the best cosign in the sport of boxing by Mike Tyson. He used to be La Bandera Roja, and now he's the Mexican Monster because Mike Tyson called him the Mexican Monster. Nobody calls him La Bandera Roja anymore. If Mike Tyson put a stamp on it, and everybody still wanted to see Mike Tyson, then respect Mike Tyson's wishes and go watch the Mexican Monster. And this fight should do over 6, 7, maybe close to 1 million pay-per-views because this is what boxing wants and this is what you boxing fans are calling for. Put respect on boxing. Forget about the clown show. I want to see the success of this fight. Let's see. Let's see if the boxing world is just full of shit. Let's see. I'm very eager. I'm a person that never want to argue by numbers. If y'all familiar with the channel, I never be like, yo, this guy did a 600 something pay-per-view, boys, and do like 16 lives about pay-per-view numbers. That's not me. I don't give a damn about that because I don't give a damn about the numbers. I'm a boxing fan and I'm like what I want. I watch what I watch and I pay for all the pay-per-views. But let's see. But y'all already know, man. Tomorrow's another day. This is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Tomorrow we at it again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Probably got a special. Let me see, just in case. Wait, hold on. Just in case, because we're supposed to have a special guest. We're supposed to have a special guest, maybe. Yes. All right. Thursday we got a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday we got a special guest. Thursday, we got a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all already know, man. And it comes from the Jake Paul side. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.